Welcome to the Getting High on Leadership series featuring Paul Karasik. Paul is one of America's top management consultants helping leaders succeed. He is the author of 9 books, including Sweet Persuasion and Brilliant Thoughts and Provocative Questions. His insights appear regularly in major publications, and he is one of the most sought-after executive coaches. Paul founded the American Seminar Leaders Association and the Psychedelic Institute of Los Angeles. He is a popular speaker at national conferences and has been on stages across all 50 states and internationally. Paul's work addresses the question, how can we transform conflict in business into collaboration? With decades of experience in management, leadership, and psychedelics, he brings a unique perspective on personal and societal growth. In this series, we'll be discussing his latest book, Getting High on Leadership, The Leader's Guide to Higher Consciousness. We'll be exploring the concepts, techniques, and mindset required to revolutionize leadership. Enjoy. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the series. My name is Sanchez, your host, and we're joined by Paul Karasik, the author of the book, Getting High on Leadership. As we make our journey through section by section, we are on the section titled The 3 Bricklayers, which can be found on page 60. Paul, welcome, man. Let's lay some bricks today.
Yeah, I loved it. Again, these are stories I just adore, and they mean a lot to me. The imagery of this particular story is a gentleman walking up to 3 people working, each one with different ideas about what they were doing and why they were doing it. And this is kind of an adjunct to the last chapter.
Yeah.
And how this, this sense of destiny, this sense of purpose affects our daily life. To get up in the morning and to have a purpose in from the minute we get up about why we exist changes the whole texture of our lives. So here three bricklayers are working in the sun, and the gentleman comes along and asks the first bricklayer what they're doing and responds in a very superficial way about making money or whatever the case may be. But one of the bricklayers is connected to a deeper meaning, a deeper purpose about what this was about, and is extremely filled with passion, with energy, with new ideas, because this idea of purpose has been infused. And so one thing I want to say to add on to the last chapter is the leader has to communicate this. That's really the secret. And
it can't be this abstract thing that only certain people know.
Oh my God, I can't tell you how many companies, when we do this exercise and I say write your mission statement or recite your mission statement, nobody can. Nobody can. It's so foreign, it's so distant, it's so mental. It doesn't have they can never remember it, or it's so long, or it's so involved, or it's so convoluted. It's not that at all. Purpose is really so simple of a concept. It's about doing, serving, providing, improving in some way. It's just that simple. The lives of other people. That's what mission is. So, is there anything greater in life but to connect with that particular concept, that your life means something. Your life has value on the grand scope of things. Your life touches people in a deep way. We all crave this. Everybody craves this. And you naturally crave it. It's just instinctual. I think people have kids because it provides meaning. Because you think about having kids, there's nothing real fun about having kids. Like you're working your butt off for them, they're a pain in the neck. They don't really add anything positive externally to your life. Most all of it's negative in terms of responsibilities, in terms of making money, in terms of health and wellness, in terms of everything. Is just a major pain. And yet we want to have kids. And the reason is because they provides us with purpose. It provides us with meaning. It provides us with a deep connection to other people. And that's the value of writing your mission statement. And in this chapter, I just want to emphasize to communicate that. It's not, so to one of the exercises that I like to do in our workshops is we write the mission statement and then we memorize it. And everybody on the team can memorize it. And we've done this in multiple companies over the years. Yeah, that's a living.
That way it's kind of at heart, right? And it's within reach at any time.
It's within reach. And by the way, they wrote the mission statement. I didn't write the mission statement. It's their words, it's their concepts about what's that greater good, that greater purpose, that greater meaning. Those are their words. They've collaboratively come up with and agreed to that's what their mission is. But generally speaking, it's a line or two. I used to work when I began my career, I worked at AT&T, many different locations doing management consulting for them. And I would ask them to write their mission statement. It was like it's AT&T, right? All these technical nerds. It was 3 paragraphs. I mean, like put systems in place that and they'd mention technical things. The IOC system, change it to make it compatible. Like, that's not a mission statement. That's a work order or something. I don't know what that is.
That's like the work description.
That's like your roles and responsibilities or something. A mission statement is just brief. It's just this. We change lives. We heal the world. I do a lot of work with financial advisors. And it's simple. People either want to grow their money, they want to retain their money, or they want to transfer their money, and that's it. And those are the active physical things that are being done, but that's not what a financial advisor does. Those are the technical things they do. But the real do is they bring peace of mind to their clients. That's what they do with their finances. So that's that higher level sense of mission, right? That goes beyond, I do tax work for you, I do your investment work, that's all technical stuff. But what's the greater picture? What's the result of that is I provide affluent or whatever clients with peace of mind, knowing their finances are being taken care of at the most professional level. Whatever. I'm just making stuff up. But see, yeah. I can write these mission statements like all day long because it's so simple.
Right. Who do you serve? What they provide. Yeah.
What do you do? What is that purpose that you provide in their life? And play with it. And then second, till you get the right words that make sense to you. And then memorize it. And get up in the morning and have it there in front of your eyes and sense it and feel it. And now mission statement and communicate it to the team. That's your job as a leader every single day, all the time, in all the communications. Every communication that you have as a leader stems from mission statement. It all stems from mission statement. And if you say something or do something that's not connected to your mission statement, it's probably not good. It's probably not good. It's probably taking you off direction. When I say not good, it's not productive, it's not efficient, and it's not going to be successful, chance of it being as an initiative, because it's not aligned with your mission statement. And the final point I want to make here before we close up this section is that in bigger organizations, the mission statement of all the groups should align.
Right.
So
Right.
tech,
One department's mission statement may not be exactly what the other's is, but it should
and
be
that
still contributing to that larger
it,
statement.
it should be the same.
Yeah.
Like you work a lot with IT. That IT mission statement for that department should be aligned with the sales department, with the marketing department, they should all be aligned. It could be slightly different in terms of what you're dealing with, but the ultimate purpose of the overall enterprise, everything should feed up to that mission of the entire enterprise.
Right.
Right.
Right. And that mindset too, that you get from it is more creating a workplace or a team of missionaries that believe in a purpose, or they see a cause, or they see that mission statement that's kind of driving them forward. They're not the mercenaries, which are our first bricklayers in the story, that are just more, hey, we're doing this for coin. We need to just get paid and get out of here, getting our job done.
Yeah, that's when you see people, Rob, you see them work late because they're on a mission. You see them come in on Saturday because they're on a mission. You see them do, incredible creative things and innovative things on their own time, that because they're in a sense of mission. They're not counting hours and minutes. It's a sense of mission. We talked about it earlier, actually, in the second chapter, calling. They have a sense of, that's where the calling comes from. The sense of, I'm not just, again, using the example of vacuuming floors. I'm not just vacuuming floors. I'm part of something that's much, much bigger than that. It's not about what you do. It's what you imbue in what you do. It's the meaning that you're putting the meaning in there. You're not making it up. You're not contriving it. It's not something it's not something untrue, but you're focusing on that, and you're giving it the meaning. You're giving it the meaning and communicating that meaning. And that's what we see in this story. We see that each person, each of the bricklayers gave it their own meaning. The bricklayer that was most happy and probably most productive was the third bricklayer, who had a sense of purpose in what they were doing. And so I would just emphasize in this, to have your mission in a business sense, in an enterprise sense, but also in a personal sense. People are most happy in life when their personal mission and their business mission are aligned. So if your personal mission was to help people, and you were involved in an enterprise that hurt people, you would be in constant conflict, constant pain, all day long, because you were off mission, right?
So you're creating that inauthenticity.
That's where all conflict comes from. So your personal mission is this is what I believe, and we can accept. I try only to talk about laws and immutables, but sometimes I want to insert my own information and or viewpoint. And my viewpoint is we're here for one reason, and that's to grow, to expand, to become, to fulfill that connection to higher consciousness in a way that has never been done before. In our own life, in our own lifetimes, whatever the case may be. That's why we're here personally, to expand, to grow, to become more. Now, if you have a job that doesn't allow you to expand, if you have an activity, a group, a leadership role that is limited, that is not attuned to that, which again, you don't have to accept this, but in this scenario, we'll put it out there, that your personal mission is to grow. Because when you're growing, what I find, I'm in the people growing business, people are happy. People are really happy when they're growing. That's what I find.
Generally so, yeah. They're making strides, improvements. They
like
see a path forward.
Yeah. whether it's in sports, improving your PR at a run, or it's in business and writing a better email than you did last time, or whatever it is, when you're growing, you're happy, you're excited, you're passionate, you see opportunity. And so if you're in a job, if you're involved in an enterprise that's not tuned into your personal mission, you're going to be unhappy and conflicted all day long. And that's the other takeaway from this, that we need to align that growth and potential, whatever that personal mission is. I said what mine was, and I think probably a lot of people identify with that, but whatever that personal mission is, and let's assume that's the universal mission, then we have to have jobs. And we, as a management consultant, we find out that why people leave jobs is always universal. They're not getting recognition, and they don't have meaning in what they're doing. So mission is not just a beautiful woo-woo concept. It's a very practical concept if you want to hire the right people, retain them, and run a more efficient enterprise, whatever it is. Mission needs to be looked at and needs to be considered. I'd encourage everybody to, if you have a mission statement, revisit it. If you haven't, to begin to write it down, see how it feels, see if it's aligned with you personally, as well as in your enterprise level, leadership levels.
Yeah, rewrite those, reread them, look at your role and realize which bricklayer you are in those projects, your mindset. Maybe even look at those around you and realize which bricklayer they're playing that day. Because it's probably not the same all the time. You might find situationally you're bricklayer 1 or 3.
Yeah, no, good point. No, yeah, there's days we phone it in. And I think being gentle with ourselves and, accepting human nature in this process is really important. So you make a great point, Rob. But I think we've got a good foundation for this whole section now that we're entering into, which is the setting. What's the physical? What's the kind of that structural stuff that we need to get in place to be leaders of higher consciousness?
Thank you, Paul. Looking forward to the rest of this conversation here. And thank you all for listening and watching. As always, you can find a link to the book below in the show notes. And we appreciate you leaving any comments. Feel free to send questions over to Paul about anything we've talked about. If you have any questions for me, I'm always here as well. Thank you all. We'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Getting High on Leadership series. If you have any questions, you can comment below or send them in via email to paul@paulkarasik.com. Follow him on Instagram at PK_theconversation. Find out more at wholesalerinstitute.com and psychedelic-awakening.com. The Getting High on Leadership series is produced by Rob Sanchez and Apartment 113, which can be found at apartment113.com and followed on Instagram at APT_113.